You're not bad with money. You were never taught how it actually works. And nobody sat you down and explained cash flow. Nobody broke down compounding. Nobody explained interest in a way that felt real. And nobody showed you how lifestyle inflation quickly traps you. But they did teach you how to spend it and how to buy now, upgrade often, finance it, reward yourself, and keep up. So when things feel tight, you blame yourself. I'm just bad with money. I don't have discipline. I'm not wired for this. No, you're wrong. You were trained to consume and not to calculate. Think about it. In school, you learned algebra. You learned history. You learned how to dissect sentences. Did you learn how to read a credit card agreement? How taxes actually reduce your income? How investing works beyond its risky? How to negotiate a salary? Were you taught any of that? Or were you taught how to build a simple financial system? Probably not. So of course it feels confusing. You were dropped into adulthood with financial responsibility and no operating manual. And when you make mistakes, you felt ashamed instead of educated. And here's what they didn't teach you. Money is behavior before it's math. You don't lose financially because you can't calculate percentages. You lose because of habits, impulse spending, emotional decisions, lifestyle creep, and avoidance. The math is very simple. The behavior is hard, and nobody teaches behavior. They also didn't teach you this: income alone doesn't fix money. Problems, you think, if I just made more, I'd be fine. But without structure, more income just creates more expensive mistakes, higher car payments, and bigger apartment, nicer vacations, or more subscriptions. Income amplifies the habits. If the system is broken at $40,000, it'll still be broken at 100,000. Another thing they didn't teach too in school is savings isn't what's left over. It's what goes first. And most people try to save after spending, and that rarely works. Money expands to feel comfort. And if you don't automate savings, spending will automate itself. And here's the big one. Debt is a tool, but most people only see the trap. They weren't taught the difference between, consumer debt and productive debt. Interest working against you and interest working for you. So they either fear all debt or abuse it completely. And both extremes come from ignorance, not stupidity. They also didn't teach you about compounding either, not in a way that hits emotionally. Compounding isn't just investment returns; it's habits compounding. Spending compounding. Inflation compounding, interest compounding, small decisions repeated for years, it changes your life. But when you're 22, 5 years feels abstract. So you optimize for today, and tomorrow it gets expensive. They didn't teach you to track. You can't control what you don't measure. But most people are afraid to look. They check their balances. They don't check patterns. And awareness feels uncomfortable at first, okay? But ignorance is more expensive long term. They didn't teach you negotiations in school either. Salary negotiations, rent negotiations, bills, contracts. You were told to be grateful, not strategic. But a single negotiation can outperform months of budgeting, and that's leverage. And leverage changes everything. They didn't teach you lifestyle inflation. The moment income rises, expenses rise with it. New job, a new apartment, a new car, a new expectation. Nobody warns you that comfort quietly becomes baseline. And once baseline rises, it's hard to go backwards. They didn't teach you that money equals options. It's not about being rich, it's about being able to leave a bad job, like I just did. Leave a bad relationship, handle emergencies, and take opportunities. Sleep without financial panic, and money reduces desperation. And desperation is expensive. And now you know, here's the part that matters. You're not behind, okay? You're not incapable. You're just operating without a framework. And once you learn how cash flow works and how investing works, how automation works, and how to separate wants from impulses, how to increase your income intentionally, everything shifts. Not overnight, but steadily, okay? Financial confidence doesn't come from having a lot of money. It comes from understanding how money moves. And when you understand, you stop panicking. You stop guessing and you stop avoiding it. You stop shaming yourself and you start directing. Most people aren't broke because they're reckless. They're broke because they were never shown the system. So they default to what culture teaches. Spend, upgrade, finances, repeat. If you change the inputs, you change the outcome. Track for 30 days, automate savings, learn basic investing, question upgrades, negotiate everything. Increase your skills whenever you can. Simple. It's not easy, okay? But simple. You're not bad with money. You were never taught the rules of the game. But once you learn them, you stop playing the defense and you start building. So let's start building today and hopefully let's get rich together. Why not? Like and subscribe. If you really enjoyed what you heard today, and feel free to buy me a coffee. It keeps me out of the comments section and keeps me busy recording. So coffee fuels me. I'm an old man, just an old man. Check out this video to the right up here. And if you want to continue to follow along and give you a little bit more financial advice, I can't wait to see you on the next one. Have a good day.